We begin with breaking news here on Denver 7 News at 10 a.m. The Club Q shooter has pled guilty to killing 5 people and injuring 17 others at the Colorado Springs nightclub last November. That plea was made official just within the last hour. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Jason Grenauer. The suspect said only a few words as they accepted guilt for the mass shooting that will send them to prison for the rest of their life. That court hearing still going on now, but let's get out live to Denver 7's Veronica Acosta down in El Paso County. Outside the courtroom, Veronica, walk us through these exact charges in that plea deal.
Well, we just stepped away from that court hearing minutes ago, Jason, and those victim impact statements, those were still being read not only by victims themselves, but family members of victims and others who had been impacted in some way or any way by the Club Q shooting. Some of those family members saying through tears, of course, that they forgave the suspect for what happened on that night. Others saying they just couldn't do it, especially right now inside of that courtroom. And you mentioned those charges that the suspected shooter ended up pleading guilty to. 5 counts of murder in the first degree, 46 counts of attempted murder in the first degree, and they pled no contest to 2 bias-motivated crimes. The judge in this said the potential punishment for the first-degree murder crimes are 5 consecutive life sentences with the Colorado Department of Corrections without the possibility of parole there, and then some additional punishments for attempted murder as well as those bias-motivated crimes. The suspect sat in that courtroom for a while. They also stood. They are wearing a blue, dress shirt with a tie and some slacks. Quiet through some moments, but as you mentioned, speaking up and saying, yes, Your Honor, through others, handcuffed as they pled guilty as well. So we do expect to hear more about the sentence that's going to come down very soon, and we expect to also hear from a press conference later this morning as soon as the hearing is over. Of course, we'll keep you updated as soon as that all happens. In Colorado Springs, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
All right, Veronica, thank you. So yeah, let's break down the timeline. This morning it began at this court hearing around 8:30. That guilty plea officially came down just a little bit after 9 o'clock. There was obviously a lot of back and forth between the judge and the suspect. Just a few words stated there. The suspect then officially pleading guilty to those charges that Veronica mentioned: 5 first-degree murder, 46 attempted murder, and 2 bias-motivated crimes. Then, as Veronica mentioned, things immediately under Colorado law move into the sentencing phase. That is why right now in that El Paso County courtroom, we are hearing from survivors of the Club Q shooting as well as family members of the victims. Several of them, as Veronica mentioned, getting emotional, speaking to both the judge, many requesting the maximum sentence in this case, others speaking directly to the suspect. Once those wrap up, the actual sentence will then be handed down. At a minimum, it will be life in prison without the possibility of parole, just based on those murder charges. The judge then getting to decide if there will be additional punishments on top of that. Then after that sentencing, we do expect to learn more information about this case. A lot of that information that couldn't be brought to light by the district attorney because it was still an ongoing case. Well, once the case wraps up, we will hear more from that news conference again, which is expected from El Paso County after that sentencing. That is later on today, but we will be with you throughout the day and have you covered. Now, while the focus right now is on what's happening in that courtroom, we do not want to lose sight of the victims from that Club Q shooting last November. Ashley Paugh, Daniel Aston, Derek Rump, Kelly Loving, and Raymond Green Vance. They all lost their lives when the suspect entered that club and opened fire. 17 others were injured in that shooting. We also want to take a moment and honor the heroes of Club Q, like Army veteran Rich Fierro. He just finished actually giving his victim impact statement in that courtroom. Rich and his family were celebrating that night back in November. His daughter's longtime boyfriend, Raymond Green Vance, was killed during the shooting. Rich saw a handle on the shooter's vest, yanked it, pulling them down, tackling them, basically. The shooter dropped their rifle. 2 others then came and helped Rich. Fierro then helped with first aid. Since then, he's been honored by the Red Cross, giving him the Life-Saving Military Hero of the Year award. That was back in March. At the time, he said he was humbled, but didn't think of himself as a hero.
It's exciting and it's humbling for me only because, again, these are great organizations. Everyone in there that night was a hero. We're all the same. They're all heroes in there. It was a nightmare.
that from back when he got that award. A very different tone today, referring to that shooter of Club Q as a terrorist inside the courtroom just a few moments ago. Now, Fierro was most recently honored in the Colorado Springs Pride Parade. He also attended this year's Super Bowl. Now, also, when speaking about heroes, we have to talk about Thomas James, who helped tackle the shooter. This is a photo from when he was in the hospital. He's in the U.S. Navy. When we spoke to him in November, he said he just wanted to save the family that he found there at Club Q. He also said, "To the brave youth, I say be brave. Your family is out there. You are loved and valued. So when you come out of the closet, come out swinging." We haven't heard from him, though, since late November. Now, as we mentioned, Denver 7 will be inside and outside that courthouse today. As Veronica mentioned, still a lot to happen. Those victim impact statements, the sentencing itself, and then that news conference to follow. You can follow our coverage on air on our website, denver7.com, or on the Denver 7 Plus app for your favorite streaming device.